everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a video on how I do a distress ink background, so it's not going to take me too long. I did post this picture up on my community tab and put the little comment, who loves a distress ink background, and quite a lot of you said you love using distress inks, and then there was a couple of comments saying you're not very good at using them, so I thought I'd show you how I do it to achieve this crisp edge as well. So I'm going to do it on this page. I'm going to use different colours, so we're not going to do the greens. This is quite a wintry page, and I feel like it's going to have these icicles that are sort of going to be whites and greys in the background. So I thought what really goes nice with snowy scenes, I feel, are like lilac shades. So I thought I would pick out 3 distress ink colours. So I've picked out Milled Lavender, I've picked out Evergreen Bow or Boo, how do you pronounce that? That one. And I've picked out Wilted Violet. This is going to be the pop of colour that just goes bang on the page. So, but first we need to create that lovely crisp edge. So I need to order some more actually, there's not much left, but I use this low tack tape and it's been good to me. I will try and link it in the description if I can find it on Amazon, but that is where I got it from. So I'm just going to start off with the border. Now the border, obviously the thickness of this tape, I don't do a border that thick. I do kind of do half of the tape, but rather than cut, you know, try and cut a straight line down the middle of this tape, all I do is, let me get a piece off. All I do is just have it hung over the edge. So I want half of it on this page and half of it on that page, so we've sort of got, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same width all the way around, you know, your edge, because you're not really going to tell that much. It's not going to be much of an issue, but I sort of go for that sort of width on these pages, and it depends on the illustration as well, because you don't want to be covering up, it has gone over a little bit there, but nothing major. You don't want to be covering up any of the illustration. So we will do the same on the bottom. So I will be going over this lettering with my distress inks, and we'll sort of do the same thing where it's sort of half of the tape at the bottom there. Make sure you're running your finger along this to make sure it's fully pressed down, because if you've got any sort of gaps, you're not going to get that really crisp edge that you might want. Again on this side, and this tape's kind of a bit see-through as well, a bit opaque, so you can kind of see where you want it to some degree. Last one, bring you down, it's getting stuck to me. And we'll go in there. There we go. And that's the page prepped. That's all you need to do. Just make sure you run your finger all along the edges and make sure it's stuck down nicely. Now, I'm going to try and get more of an overhead angle, and so you can get all of this page on. I'm going to have to lift it up a bit more. Is that all of the page? I think so. If you ever want to zoom in, you can touch the screen on your device now and you can zoom in on a YouTube video. It's quite neat actually. Just don't look at my nails. So I've got my 3 distress inks. I've also got a scrap piece of paper at the side of me, because each time we dip our blending tool, these are the blending tools I'm going to use, each time we dip our blending tool into here, you want to rub off the excess onto a spare piece of paper, just so you don't get such a heavy blotch on your page that when you come to it. So I'm going to start off first with my lightest colour, so that is Milled Lavender. So I always start off light and go light to dark. This is in frame, isn't it, this? So this one, some of these distress inks, it's really hard to get the colour payoff, I have to admit. So this one, you might not pick up on camera, it's very, very faint. But this is why I start off with the lightest colour, because I'm coming closest to the illustration with this colour. So I don't want to go straight in with my darkest colour on the illustration, because I don't want that really bold violet colour all over my illustration. So we're going with the lightest shade first, and you can see it is popping this little bit of a colour. You can vaguely see it, but this is going to look so nice with those sort of the fur as well. If I decide to do the fur like with some creams in it, the purple in the background is really going to look nice. So with your distress inks that aren't very juicy, you don't need to rub off onto your spare piece of paper because there's hardly anything coming off it. So with these ones that are quite dry and not very juicy, I go straight from the pad straight to the paper because, you know, there's barely anything there. But with a distress ink that's really bold and really juicy, that's when you will rub off on your spare piece of paper first. But for this one, we're all good. This one, it doesn't matter if we get a bit over the hood, over the fur trim, because it's very, very pale, this colour. I'm just going to pop that back down, it's come up a bit. Don't know what that is. I'm going to do the bottom corners. And up here, getting quite close up there. Because what we don't want is a halo around our illustration. I really don't like when you get that white sort of halo around, and that's why I like to use my lightest colour to really get in to all those areas, because I don't want a halo around the head. We can have a bit of milled, what is it? Milled lavender instead. I think I'm nearly done with this colour, but we will come back to it at some point because sometimes I like to add in more colours towards the end. But for now, that's going to be that colour. So next I'm going to actually, yeah, go in with this one. Evergreen, whatever it says, bow. So I'll bring you down a little bit. So this one is quite a juicy one. So I've got my spare piece of paper, so you will rub into this, and then if you see, it is quite a bit juicier, not too much, so we're all right. And we're going to just randomly add this in areas, certain areas, so I might have some over the icicle there. Be mindful as well when you're holding down your paper that if you put your hands onto where you've put distress ink, there's a chance that you will lift that colour off. The moisture on your hands will lift distress ink off your page, so just be super careful. I try to place my hands on the illustration but not transferring anything on my hands. Just try to be really quite careful. But as well, when we come to the last colour, it will make a fourth colour when it mixes with this evergreen bow, which, you know, it's really nice when it does that, because you're gaining another colour by mixing them up. See how nice those colours work together, and it's still like wintry but warm. I love lavenders at Christmas time, like when you can get the decorations for the tree with the bits of lavender in. They're really nice. So I think we'll leave that there for now with that colour, and we'll get our really bold purple and add a little bit of this. So this is the wilted violet. We will need our scrap piece of paper as well to block this one. So I'm getting my blending tool with the purple on. So I do tend to have ones that, you know, stick to a certain colour. I don't mix them up, the blending tools. So I'm going to go into this colour. We do need to just blot it a bit, and then I'll start in the corners with this colour, I think. And you can really go to town on this colour now. We really do want to get a bit of punchiness. This is your darkest shade, so we really want that punchiness of this colour. And then you can see it's changing the evergreen bow into a sort of blue colour as well. We're getting that nice extra colour going on there if you mix that. I love a distress ink background. I love the smoothness of it, the smoothness and how well they blend together. If you get the right colours, blend beautifully. I'm loving how this is looking. Just blot off there. To be careful around a hand, but I do still, are we in frame? I do still want to get this colour up to her fingers because I don't want to have any white gaps, so to say. Let's put this a bit darker down here. And then where should we have another dark spot? Over here, I think. Let's put the colour down a bit more. After you've put your darkest colour down, if you find you've still got areas you want to fill in, you can then go back in with your lightest shade of Distress ink and go back over the top of that. Or even your green if you wanted to add more green. Completely up to you. Let's try and keep this still. I think it just needs, oh, my cardigan's falling down. A bit more there. And I think a bit more in this corner somewhere. And then I am going to go back to that green. I feel like I can add a little bit more green. So you can always look at it and think, oh, I might want a bit more of this, a bit more of that. Switched back to my blender that's got the green on. And we'll just deepen up some of those green areas. Now with thick paper like this, it doesn't tend to come through, but sometimes it can depending on how much water you add, because I'm going to splash some water onto this to get that really nice effect. So you just have to be mindful of how much water you're putting down, because it's the water that you add that will make it bleed through if you're not careful. This is looking nice, isn't it? I love the colours together. The colours are really pretty together. But you build up on the colours, you know, you layer and layer them. And then when you've got it how you like it, how you want it, which is about there for me, I think we're about done. Then you can get your water. Well, you can leave it like that if you want to. You can either leave it like that, or you can do the water effect, which I'm going to do. So for this, I've got my water in a little jar. I've got a paintbrush, and I've got an old cloth that I use for all my paints, which is very full of paint. So dip your paintbrush in the water, don't dry it off, and then tap and let the water drip onto the page. And what this will do is lift the pigment up, so it'll lift the Distress ink wherever the water falls. So you can put as much or as little of this on as you want. It's totally up to you if you want to go to town with it or if you just want a little bit. Big drops or little drops, whatever you want to do. Totally up to you. There's a big blob there. A big blob. So I think, let's get some there. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Now, if you give it a couple of minutes to just do its thing, let's bring you back down. Give it a couple of minutes to just do its thing, and then when we're happy, we can get our cloth. Make sure you get a clean section. Clean section of your dry cloth, and you're just going to press down. You're not going to rub, you're just going to press and lift, and then you get this effect here. I want to bring you down so you can see. Look at that. So I'll bring you down where I lift it off, then you can see a bit better. Let's get my cloth fixed. So again, over here, see that? And then we've not been down here, we only put a little bit there. Let's do this corner and see how much went on that corner. Not much. And then you can see the drops of water better there, can't you? Then look at this effect. How cool. So you can see what I'm doing there. Lifting it all up. Do this corner here, and then I'll zoom you back out again and peel the tape off. But that is that. And look at that lovely wintry scene. Look at the effect on that. Gorgeous. So I'm going to peel the tape now. Do you want to close up on this lovely, there's nothing better than this bit. Hopefully we've got a nice crisp line. There we go, look at that. Look at that. Let's lift you back up now. Oh, wobbly wobbly. Right, let's do this corner. Top. Oh. And I'm all tangled in tape, it's all stuck together. But then we've got that side. Lovely. Absolutely love it. Look how gorgeous that looks. How gorgeous. So that is how I do a distress ink background, guys, with the nice clean crisp edge. I think it just makes it look really, really pretty. The colours on there look really nice. When I've coloured this, it will go really well with the whole of the page. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So milled lavender, evergreen bow, and wilted violet are the three colours that I used there. I will try and find these colours and link them in the description for you. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.